One of the women leading that charge is Dawn Staley. She's the head coach of the University of South Carolina's women's basketball team, host of the podcast Net Life with Dawn Staley, a women's basketball Hall of Famer and Olympic gold medalist. I'm pleased to say she joins me now. Welcome, Dawn. Thank you so much for being here. You've been adamant in bringing attention to this. What kind of support have you gotten in your efforts to help bring Brittney home?
I mean, there are a lot of people rallying around bringing Brittney home. We just have to get the right people, the decision makers. And, you know, my whole involvement is to get her home, and what ways or people that we could call on to get that done. All of Brittney's family members, her wife, especially Sherelle, they want her home. And the best way to do that is to get in front of the President of the United States and beg and plead for him to find a way in his heart to get her home so everybody can sleep a little bit easier.
Yeah, I want to take another listen to Angela's great interview with Cheryl Griner, where they talk about that very thing. Take a listen, and we'll talk about it on the other side.
In my mind, I'm like, this is Brittney Griner. So for me, I was so hopeful because I'm just like, they're going to go get her. She's wrongfully grabbed. They're going to go get her. Our president is going to, you know, wake up and see that this is a big deal and that he can actually do something about it.
Have you been satisfied with the response from the White House? I know there's an effort to keep this story in the headlines, but has the White House, do you know, reached out to Brittney's family, to anyone at this point?
At this point, I don't think there's communication there. But let me just say this. I don't think people are sitting on their hands. There are people out there that are trying to get it done without the involvement of our president. This is too big for him not to be a part of this solution. And I'm almost going to beg to Jill Biden, our first lady, because sometimes when a woman gets involved, they really have an understanding of what it is to be without their child. Just the unknown of what their child's future is. And I know somebody's listening, and I'm hoping they're tuned in this morning so we can put Brittney's family at ease. I know there's a lot of talk about, this or that, it's an American female basketball player that is in a Russian prison. And I've been doing as much research as possible. I listened to Trevor Reed's story, and, his thing was, don't be quiet about this. Scream at the top of your lungs. All his family members said that. We just need more people screaming at the top of their lungs to make this happen. I'm not a relative of Brittney's. I am a friend of hers, but I can only imagine the amount of time that I spend, like my mental focus is on her and what she's dealing with.
And I think you make such a good point, Dawn, because we are Brittney. When you think about what you would want done if you were wrongfully detained in Russia, what you would hope others were here doing. I wanted to play for our viewers a soundbite from Trevor Reed, who was brought home back to America earlier this month. Take a listen to what he endured while he was in Russia, and think about Brittney in that moment. Perhaps this will spark more action on our parts. Take a listen to Trevor's testimony.
That was pretty terrible. Blood on the walls. There's crap all over the floor, also on the walls. The guards there really treat those prisoners like animals. The medical personnel there as well, just completely unprofessional.
Were you afraid that you might be kept there indefinitely?
Yeah, absolutely was afraid of that. I thought that maybe they had sent me there to, chemically disable me. Give me sedatives or whatever, and make me unable to fight.
Turn you into a vegetable, basically.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was afraid of, and that was one of my biggest fears the whole time that I was in prison.
It's frightening when you hear that, Dawn, because you wonder, well, what is happening to Brittney these days? What is she going through? Have you been in touch with her wife, Cheryl, at all?
I haven't through people. I have. I think she's got so much on her plate from an emotional standpoint, from, just her mind being occupied, and what more could she do to, to get her wife home. I've been in touch with her, her agent, and I'm just a vessel. I'm going through I walk every morning and I go through my phone to see who can I contact, this morning, to help us. And I'm pulling out all stops.